well over $80 million in total sales with loyal repeat customers around the globe. So he's a Houston native, engineer, and proud Navy veteran. Mark has earned a degree in business administration from the University of Houston downtown. After enlisting into the Navy just 2 weeks after graduating high school, he successfully served 4 years in the United States Navy as well as Special Warfare Combatant Crewman. Sir, I love it. Welcome back. How you doing today, sir?
Doing amazing. Doing amazing. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, man. Yeah. So good to see you, man. So good to see you. It's so good to see you, without a doubt. Listen, I mean, some of these people know you, but many of them do not. So I definitely want you to introduce yourself, but I also definitely want you to take about a minute or so and talk about, again, just like everyone else, what do you think we can do as Black business owners to deal with the issues that we're dealing with in terms of not getting justice in America? How can we solve these problems?
Well, let's start there, because I felt the same way y'all felt when y'all got the Breonna Taylor, I guess, judgment. So as a business owner, I take advantage of the power that we have, and a lot of things that we do, we don't just do it for the money. We do a lot of things for the data. You know what I'm saying? I'm the data king. I love collecting data. And so because we got so many stores across the U.S., we actually use that data and communicate with our customers on policies, who to vote for, when to register. The day of, maybe a day or two before, I'm actually sending out an e-blast or a text blast to all my customers, letting them know, go vote. Happy to vote. There's going to be the hashtag. It's like happy to vote. And so I think, when you have that type of power, you're able to kind of control the masses. And so with the type of company that we have and the data that we've collected throughout the years, we're able to tell people what to do, when to do it. And so we plan on doing our part as far as connecting the dots once the voting starts happening, or even prior to, just get everybody energized. So I'm mad, bro. You know what I mean? I'm a veteran. I'm a true veteran. You see me with my camouflage on. I think about Mikey Xavier Johnson every time I see a police officer go home and, after they shoot somebody. I feel like we need to highlight some of our leaders that sacrifice, just like they highlight their leaders. We know all about the Robert E. Lees and the George Washingtons and all their fearless leaders, but we don't know about the people that sacrificed for us, like Mikey Xavier Johnson, like Gavin Long, and some of those other peoples. I think if we put them in the forefront and honor them for their sacrifices, then some of these shooters that wear police uniforms and badges would think twice about shooting us if they know we got a big brother that might come back and shoot them back. But right now, we don't have that. We got, a lot of people crying, what I'm saying, don't know what to do, and I think we all know what we got to do. If somebody does something to our family tree, we know how we're supposed to respond. But it's definitely unfortunate to see our community going through what it's going through. But, there's always a way out. There's only one way to beat a bully, I'll tell you that. So we'll get past that. What else you got? So personal intro. What you got?
It's one way to beat a bully, and how do you do that? You hit him in the nose.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta. I've been to a lot of places all around the world. I'm great with my hands, right? And when you growing up in the hood, if a bully approach you and slap you, or take your Jordans, or do any of that, take your starter jacket, any of those things, you cannot grab a poster board and a magic marker and write on a magic marker like, please stop taking my jacket, and walk around outside cold with no jacket on, thinking that something go change. That ain't how life works. And so I wasn't brought up that way. But I'm also knowing that, we don't want to fight with violence. But I just know for me personally, I'm not, I'm not walking around with no posters. It's going down.
Well, the violence I'm speaking of is your dollars.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, all that. You know what I'm saying? All that. So me personally, I'm a veteran. I'm a proud veteran. I'm probably one of the proudest veterans that you guys will ever meet. I feel like the U.S. Navy saved my life. I grew up in the hood. If I'd have stayed there, I'd have been just like the people that's still there. But because I was able to travel the world, go get this free money, get muscles, get food, I was able to come back and go to school for free. Before I went to the Navy, I was in honor classes. I'm the type of guy that you want to sit next to when you're going through high school or college or elementary school or middle school. Like, I was in advanced placement classes. I got a lot of hundreds on my Scantron. And so after the Navy, once I started traveling the world after the Navy, I went to college and graduated with a business degree and an engineering degree. And so with that mindset, with my Navy experience, my engineering experience, and my business degree, I was able to come back to Houston and start a company with just $800. And like Brian said, we've grossed up to $80 million in sales and counting. That was like a couple of years ago.
And that's 8 years.
Yeah,
that's not 20 years.
Yeah, it's not 8 years. We started in 2012. And the thing is that I tell people I can do it again. We can do it again. I'm not the only person with the juice on my team. We got a lot of us. But we didn't start here. We grew to this. And, I heard y'all talking about loans and stuff. I never took out a student loan, got a bunch of degrees. I never took out a business loan. I'm a millionaire, multi-millionaire, and I can do it again. And so with the data that I've collected over the years, I've been able to start other companies and other businesses because I understand the importance of data and not just making money. And so with my business, my company, the one that you guys know, She's Happy Hair. We sell a lot of hair extensions, a lot of hair care products. We're the first company in the world to sell hair extensions from the Walmart platform. My newest location is in Atlanta, Georgia. Again, we got stores all across the U.S. Before the coronavirus hit, we was flying everywhere, just connecting the dots. About to open up in Chicago, North Carolina. I didn't know that there wasn't a Walmart in New York, but we was trying to go to New York. We just going everywhere.
There's like one Walmart in New York.
I think it's in New Jersey. Is that New Jersey or is that New York? I don't know. But either way, we are trying to expand. And so once coronavirus hit, it hit hard. And when it hit, just like when, we talking about the Black Lives Matter movement, my mindset is always different from other people's. I'm always prepared no matter what's going on in life. I'm always prepared. And so when the coronavirus hit, while everybody else was like, what are we going to do? And the stores were shut down and the outside was closed, we was making a lot of money online, because mentally we've already known that the billionaires are online. They're not making hand-in-hand e-commerce. The billionaires are online making money when they sleep. And so we revamped the website, got it looking up to par. We finance our products now, where you don't have to come and spend your money the same day. You can actually finance it and have a $30 a month payment on your hair extensions. We just did a lot of those things and trailblazed everything going forward. So with the coronavirus, when it hit, nobody knew what to do. When it opened up, nobody knew what to do. So all I knew was to talk to my customers. I'm like, well, if everybody closed, let me just talk to my customers. Let me just email somebody. Let me send a text message and let them know I care. Let me tell them happy birthday. Let me tell them happy Tuesday because I want my customers to know that I'm thinking about them because I want them thinking about me. And so the entire time that we've been closed and that we've been communicating with our customers, not just asking them for money or asking them to shop with us, but we've been informing them and letting them know tips and tricks on hair extensions and hair care products and whatever your industry is based off of. We did that. And so once the stores opened back up or once they got their stimulus checks and was able to go on Amazon and able to go on Instacart, they was also able to go to she'shappyhair.com and spend some money as well, So we've been rocking and rolling throughout the coronavirus, and we haven't slowed down at all. As soon as it stopped, me and my team, we didn't just stop working because the world stopped. We kept working and growing. We started reading together. We read this book called Grit. We created a book club. We created incentives and things like that. So that way, when the stores did open up, we would be that further ahead of our competition. And that we still ahead right now. Like it's nonstop. I think a lot of people don't know how great of a team we have. We started in 2012 and we were the first people in our industry to do back to school sales, Black Friday sales. Nobody marketed on social media hair extensions before we did. So we market on TV first, on radio first. We do a lot of those things. We've done a lot of those things, and everything that we continue to do, we're leading the way, which is why we're the number one virgin hair supplier in America.
Let me take you back a little bit. Let me ask a question. You're two men. Why hair?
Why the bald head man selling hair, right?
And you ain't got no hair. So,
why the bald head man?
So what was it about hair that made you go into that industry?
So when I think about business, I think about my customer. Growing up.
Because let me preface that question one more time. Because just what I thought. Because I think the key word for everyone, the theme that I'm seeing is we need to take control. We must take control of our particular industries. So how do you take control of your industry that you're in like they've taken control. So how did you all take, you pretty much taken control of the hair market, and you're still taking control of the hair market in the Houston area. So why hair, and how did you get to the point where you actually took control like you have?
So when I think about my customer, I think about people that I want to be around. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be in the places that my customer is to market to them. I want to jump into an industry where it's a commodity. You know, a lot of people didn't know that hair extensions were essential, but they are. You know what I'm saying? You got to have it. And a lot of businesses or a lot of products, people jump into industries just trying to tell the people what they want. But when I jumped into this industry, we knew that this is something that the women needed and that they wanted, and nobody was providing the customer service the right way. Everybody that was in our industry had the beauty supply mentality. You know, to hurry up and buy. You know, you got stuff sitting on the counter, sitting on the shelves with dust on it. The owners don't care enough. You can go to any beauty supply right now across the U.S. and they don't care enough. You know, there's no customer service there. You walk in, you might have somebody following you. There's dust on the shelves, and that's not what you get with She's Happy Hair. You get the total opposite. You get great customer service. We know our customer. We do a lot of surveys. A lot of times in retail, people buy stuff that they think the people want, but we know that everything we have in our stores is what the people want because we've done these surveys. We talk to them. We don't do anything that everybody else isn't doing. We just do it better. And then we add a little twist to it, you know. And so as far as how we were able to take over, again, customer service is key. You know, customer service is key. I like to kind of pivot back to COVID. Before COVID-19, you would walk into a She's Happy location, you get greeted, hey, welcome to She's Happy Hair. You know, you get experts that know the product. You get upon checkout, we're walking the bag around the counter. You know what I'm saying? We got this rule called the 10-minute rule where if you show up 10 minutes before the store opens up, we let you in. We're catering to you. If you show up 10 minutes after the store is closed, if we close at 7 o'clock, we really don't close till 7:10. You know, so we have those type of customer service aspects that makes us different and makes us memorable. Along with that, we understand the product. So in our industry, there's what you call meat and potatoes, you know, 16, 18, and 20 inches, or 18, 20, or 22 inches. We created that Happy Meal for the industry. So you go to McDonald's, you can get a Happy Meal. You go to She's Happy Hair, you can get the Happy Kit. You know, so we just kind of rode those waves and just made sense for our industry. Every industry is wide open because nobody does everything right. You know, for me, I feel like I can jump into any industry, and I don't jump into any industry because you don't want to give your energy to everything. You want to focus on what you want to focus on. But I can jump into any industry and get a small piece of the pie because you don't eat the whole pie. You need a little piece, you know. And so one thing that I've been doing that I will share with you guys as a tip for sure is a lot of times we do a lot of things for exposure. You know what I'm saying? If you listening, if you're on this call, it's 23 participants at the bottom here. Stop doing it for exposure. Don't do it for exposure. Don't do it for money. Don't do it for fame. Do it for the data. Do it for the data. What I mean by that is you could pay an influencer to post your product on social media, depending on what your product is. They post your product, they hashtag, you might get a couple followers, you might get a couple likes, you might even get 1 or 2 customers to go to your website and purchase. But if you have that same influencer with 1 million followers, create a call to action. Hey, text the word happy for your chance to win free hair for a year. You'll see the response will be that much more greater for you long term because you get all of these phone numbers and emails and birthdays and names and all these things. You're able to communicate with your potential customer going forward for as many weeks or days as possible until they want to purchase with you. Because what happens is you'll spend some money on a Facebook ad thinking that because they see your product or they see your website that they're going to go swipe the card and spend money right now. That ain't how it works. Right now, you got to coerce people into shopping with you. You got to let them know that you're different. You know, you got to send a couple of emails. It's like dating. You know what I'm saying? You got to take it easy. You know what I'm saying? You can't hit it as soon as you meet them. You know what I'm saying? You got to get to know them a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So what we do is we send emails and text messages throughout the year, and birthday coupons. Black Friday. Emails, just the whole nine, back to school, prom, because again, we created that part of the industry. Everything that you see everybody else doing in my industry that does back to school sales or Black Friday, anything like that, they did it piggybacking us. And so whatever industry it is that you're in, I just think the most important thing is to do it for the data. Also, because you're able to take that same data that you build from that industry and go anywhere with it. You know what I'm saying? So I know I'm gonna be rich forever because I got data from all over the world. I don't even know my customers. I've never even met some of my customers. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to meet them. All I got to do is treat them right and talk to them. And your correspondence via email is going to determine whether or not they come back. Your curbside is going to determine whether or not they come back. When Corona hit, we didn't know anything about curbside. I didn't know anything about curbside. I heard the Army veteran here talking about going to get the plexiglass and going to the stadiums and setting up the plexiglass. I immediately was thinking like, shit, I might start a plexiglass company around this world. Not today. I'm saying when Corona first hit, I started looking up plexiglass, like, what's the market looking like? You know what I'm saying? Because I know that people are going to need plexiglass all around the world. And so with my data, though, instead of jumping into plexiglass, one of my newest companies is LifeLax. I'm selling house shoes. I'm selling house shoes. Why am I selling house shoes? Because everybody in the world wear house shoes. Why or does everybody in the world wear house shoes? Because everybody's comfortable at home. And what are we wearing more at home right now? What are we doing? We at the crib wearing house shoes, wearing them out. And so I'm getting started with this house shoe subscription company that's going to actually have you purchase your first set of house shoes, and then you ain't got to purchase another one. I'm going to have your card information, and every 6 months to a year or so, I'm sending you some new house shoes. You know what I'm saying? At your doorstep, no problem, no correspondence, and I'm just sharing these thoughts with you guys because I'm always excited when I get a chance to talk to some like-minded individuals. But I can talk all day and tell you guys what we're doing, but I want to answer some questions.
No, this is good stuff, man. This is good stuff. Before I open up the lines, because everyone, if you got any questions, get ready. I'm going to open it up. And I really want to bring these three gentlemen back so we can talk about finances and how we solve that problem within our community. So how can everyone do business with you? Again, outside of buying your products and services, what can they do to do business with She's Happy Hair?
Okay. So again, we spent a lot of money on marketing since 2012, over hundreds of millions or whatever, hundreds of thousands. I don't even know what the number is. That's a lot. And so with this, we become a household name. With this household name, we have digital real estate online where customers is constantly coming back to our website, purchasing all day, every day. They're coming to our stores, purchasing all day, every day. If you have a product that can complement my brand, whether it's a hair care product, we got glue, She's Happy every draws. You know what I'm saying? Bras. It could be She's Happy any toilet paper. I think somebody got some toilet paper over there. She's Happy toilet paper. It could be She's Happy anything. If it complements the brand, then we're able to give you shelf space. We're able to put your product in our stores nationally. Like we can try one store at a time. If it pops in that store, we can put them in the rest of them, right? But then the same thing is that those customers that are coming online to she'shappyhair.com, if your product complements our brand, we can give you a tab, give you some digital real estate. So that way we can start making money and having these partnerships really make sense. And the more we grow, you grow with us. And so I guess our partnership would just only take for you just emailing us at info@she'shappyhair.com, whatever your product is, whatever agreements you may have, however you would like to tackle or move forward. Just let me know and let us know, and then we can definitely make it happen.
All right, this is good stuff, man. Listen, man, I could just let you keep talking for real. This is great stuff. But I do have a question. Dundre, are you there? If you could take, I know Dundre actually had a question for you. He put his thing on mute there. Dundre, I'm going to give you a second if you're listening. But I'll ask the question for you that Dundre actually asked. I think it might be.
I'm here.
All right, so you better hurry up. About to move on.
So
we can't see you. We can't see you. Can you show
I'm driving, Brian. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So my question kind of goes right back to what Brian was talking about as far as finances. And first of all, I want to congratulate you all on your businesses. I think it's great. I love it. It's beautiful when we succeed. But coming back to finances, and I think the first speaker touched on this. I think it was the second one about securing private equity and going to friends and or family. But what if you don't know nobody that has any money? Let me just ask you like that. What if you don't know nobody that has the type of money you need? And let me put dollars behind that. I'm not talking about 10,000, 20,000, 50,000. I'm talking about 100 to 200 to 300,000 at least of growth capital, because as you all have experienced, when things hit fast, you need to move into facilities, things of that nature. And to your earlier point, the banks aren't giving out any money. I've heard several banks, talk about black pathways, this, that, and the third, but they're not giving out any money. So you're very true. And when you talk about private equity, but my thing is, how do you find that? Because when you need hundreds of thousands of dollars, then I was wondering how do you do that?
Yeah, so let's let him answer. So again, Dondre's company is Symphony Chips. And how many targets are you in right now, Dondre? I know you just got into a couple of them. Dondre, are you there? All right.
Yeah, I'm here. So we're actually in 9 targets right now, only in the Atlanta area, but we're working on a national campaign so we can get into all the targets across the U.S.
All right. So I'm going to open this question up for all 3 of you, Carlos, Mr. Ramsey, and for Marcus. Whoever wants to take that first. Financing. If you want to start, I'll start with you, Marcus, and then I'll go to the rest of them.
Okay, so you asking the wrong guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing I don't do is go to the bank and ask for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I ask for no loans. I started my company with $800. You know what I'm saying? I can do it again. And so what I do is I go overseas. I'm in a different lane, I guess. My industry is I sell products. So I travel the world. I go to Brazil, Africa, China. I go to this event called the Canton Fair, Canton. It's the Canton Fair. It's like the biggest made in China event in the history of made in China. You know what I'm saying? It happens every year, sometimes twice a year. And everything that's in your house right now that's made in China is sold there at that event. And so I go to that event and I come back with products and I start .coms. And when I invest in those products, I invest a couple $100 and then I flip it from there. From my website or my websites. And so that's how I kind of avoid the asking to borrow money and things like that. And depending on the banks, I use my income tax check, if that makes sense. But hopefully somebody else can get to the bank side of things.
So I think you've never taken out a loan before, right?
Never taken out a loan.
So you've always, from your profits and your revenue, you've turned that back into the business.
Flipped it right back into the business. Once we took the 800 and started from the trunk, and we started our first storefront here, we were able to expand across the U.S. because we added other military veterans that was in other cities that could follow our blueprint. And it only took a couple of $1,000s after we had the green in Houston to expand across the U.S. And so, we've never taken out a business loan. We always use the money to expand the brand within the company, if that makes sense. I always use the profits to expand the brand.
One other question for you, then I want to go to Carlos. You said international relationships. Do you have any international relationships that have funded you?
No,
at all?
No. They don't fund you, bro. They just take your money. They don't want to fund you. You can hit them up and be like, hey, I'm a millionaire. I would love to buy a piece of your factory. They like, no speaking English. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't going down. They just want your money, bro. They want what we know. They don't know us. They don't know us. They know how to create stuff over there, but they don't know how to market it to us. They don't know us. They don't know our customer. They don't care. They don't understand the forecast. They don't care. That's why we created all this. Now what they're trying to do is mimic us. They're trying to mimic us.
Right.
They always try to mimic us and get us out, but they can never be us as long as we do what we do in the community.
This is why it's so important. I'm going back to everyone. We must think larger. We must think bigger. If you are, no matter what service you're in, a product that you're in, how do you take control of it? It's not something that you can do overnight, but how do we take control? And many times that control comes from us joining forces with other companies, just like we saw with the Black-owned bank in California, Los Angeles, and a bank over here in D.C. Now they've come together to merge, and now they've built the largest Black-owned bank. Now they have over $1 billion in assets.
So Brian,
which is not humongous, but that's how you grow.
I was gonna say, here's the thing too. Before you pass the mic,
Sure.
The raw material for my industry comes out of India.
Mm-hmm.
It always comes out of India. The raw material. What happens is the Chinese or the Brazilians or the Malaysians, they come to India, buy the raw material, take it back to China because the labor cost is cheaper there. You're not gonna beat that labor cost in China, anywhere in the world. It's going to be cheapest labor cost in the world is in China. And so even if I did have the connections and the raw material to bring here to the U.S., boys ain't making bundles here in the United States of America. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just some things that, Trump saying make America great again. Some jobs just not coming back because we're no longer coal miners. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to be making bundle hair extensions here in America versus China because their labor costs is going to always beat ours, and they got billions of people over there to compete against. You know what I'm saying? So,
but I will say this though, and I want to go to Kamas. Yeah, China is definitely cheap, but this is why it's also so important for us to also look at doing business in Africa because there's cheap labor in Africa as well. So, and there's actually a lot of money in Africa. So we're looking at getting funded for our businesses. We must also start thinking globally. How do we begin to build those relationships? Because they have a lot of money over there to be able to fund ours. As the truth is they need everything we have here. They need it in Africa. And many times we have what we need to be able to do that. All right, Carlos, finances, what do we do?
Well, I want to first say I greatly enjoyed Brother Marcus and Brother Ramsey, both hitting spot on point with a number of things. And so to the brother who asked the question, DeAndre, I would say this, that I'm going to give you this from two perspectives. Number one, I talked about the new economic paradigm. And so it's important for us to understand, I'm going to suggest that we can't keep thinking inside of the models that currently exist. So, for example, I'm not a capitalist. That might sound strange, right? I could explain it, but I'm a communalist who does want to make money. So I'm not against making money, but if we understand the nature of capitalism, if we took the time to actually study the ideology of capitalism, we wouldn't want to be that because we would know that slavery was the beginning of capitalism. Slavery was the fuel for capitalism. So we have to think out of the box. So here's my suggestions. Number one, Brother Marcus offered all of us a wonderful opportunity. He's already indicated that he has a platform. He's absolutely correct. I think any of us who did well or doing well under the COVID-19 realities, we had a web presence. That's what catapulted us because even though prior to, we would always say people don't know us enough. They still don't. But they got to know us during COVID-19 because nobody could find bathroom tissue. So they got to know who we were. So the brother has already said he has a platform that he's willing to talk some business with us, to get on his platform, sell us some real estate, blah, blah, sell. So I would say to the brother, number one, reach out to any of us who have a platform because we have it. It's a little different, but we're looking at doing some unique kind of product development as well with other businesses who do other things because people keep asking us, can you get this? Do you have that? Do you want that? So what I'm saying to him directly is he could be selling those potato chips, not just in Targets, but online through the various platforms and these Black platforms that are here today, for example. I think that would be huge. We have to really see that big picture. And don't forget, let us not forget, you just said it, in terms of Africa, the continent, the Caribbean, there's an awakening among the African mind.
Yeah. So
our people are recognizing the fact that we're only on the bottom because we're allowing ourselves to be here. You know? You understand? That's we're only allowing. Listen, everybody else makes money off of us in every way you can think about it, and so we can put an end to that whenever we just wake up and say, you know what, it's over. That's enough of that. That's done. So that's number one. I would definitely go in that route. Now, with that, also I would say, because you just mentioned the two Black banks, you're probably talking about one bank. Somebody asked the question. So you're probably talking about, I think it's called One Bank out of California.
No, not One United. It's Federal. I think it's Federal Bank is the name of it.
And what's the one in D.C.? Industrial?
Yeah, they didn't merge with Industrial. It's called Broadway Federal Bank is the one, and the other one in D.C. is City First Bank.
Okay. So here's the thing about Black banks. If you study Black banks, you would see that the number of Black banks has decreased over the years because they too have the same problems that all of us potentially had as Black businesses, right? So here's the thing. It was about 2 years ago that our people woke up and said, we're going to divest from white-owned banks and put our money in black banks. Did black banks do anything for us because of that? Not much. So again, we, the business people, the business community, and I'm having these conversations with black bankers and saying, you all have to do more for us. You can't be like Bank of America. You can't be like this one and that one. You can't treat us that way. You have to come up with new ideas and new systems to help our businesses, because without us, you don't exist. And without our people, none of us exist in truth. So we, the merchants or the business people, have to begin to facilitate the conversations necessary to get that finance, make it more readily available for us. But we're going to have to put a demand forth.
Absolutely.
To get that done.
Absolutely. And we must value our own systems, to your point. There are tons of black-owned banks that we all should be doing business with, but it's also still about the relationship. So many times we go to our black-owned banks and we want them to give us a loan immediately. I've learned about banking, period. It's still about, just like Marcus said, you don't hit it the first time. You got to give it time. And they're not going to give you a loan the first time you walk through the door. And it's still about building relationship. And I agree with you 1,000%. Our black banks have to do more. But as black businesses, and I want to go over to Mr. Ramsey on this one here next. Because the truth is to your point, Kamos, our black banks, they are dealing with being undercapitalized. But they're dealing with being undercapitalized because, and I'm unapologetically black. They're dealing with being undercapitalized because they keep asking white folks to capitalize. That's not going to happen. There's enough black businesses that have money that they should be going after. And I just went to their conference last year, and I know they're not going enough after our businesses. So this is part of the solution. We must bring our black businesses together with our black banks and sit down at the table and say, this is what we need, and this is how we solve the problem. Don't worry, I'm working on something like that. All right, Mr. Ramsey, financing. How do we deal with financing? How do we solve that problem?
Well, that is a major problem, and I feel my brother Payne. Myself, on the other hand, like I said, I commend the young brother. I thank Brother Marcus on the accomplishment that he have accomplished in that area. The hair business is the number one business. Matter of fact, here in Memphis, every corner you go to, there's a beauty supply store, but most of them are owned by Asians. And they stay open all the time, 7 days a week. So they are getting a lot of our tax, our black dollars.
Hey, just for the record, they used to be closed on Sunday. They used to be closed on Sundays. They open on Sundays now because of us.
Yeah, they open on Sundays. So it's so I commend you on that.
Appreciate it.
Myself, I funded most of my. I have tax business, so I take the funds that I generate from my tax offices, and I fund all my other projects, similar to what Brother Mark has done. But because we got hit so hard and fast with COVID-19, I reached out to friends and family that have money, and like I said, we pay a substantial amount of interest on it. But my thing is that I'd rather for them to make the money anyway that my counterpart bank members.
Absolutely. Hold on. Say that. That's such a great point. And you all, I know we're over a few minutes, but I think this is such an important conversation. If you got to go, that's completely fine. But I think this is a real conversation. And I'm gonna tell you all a quick story that I heard, and I want you to jump right back into that, Ms. Ramsey. There was this Jewish guy, a true story. My stepdad told me this story. He was being ripped off by another Jewish guy for $50,000. He knew that he owed him $50,000, and he still did business with him. And my dad asked him, said, "Why do you still do business with him?" He said, "I would rather him rip me off than anybody else." We must have that mindset. I would rather our money goes to another black-owned business versus it going outside of our community, because once it goes outside of our community, it is not coming back. I had to jump in there. So finish up your thought there, Mr. Ramsey.
And the reason being, like I said, it helps them in a sense. But my thing is, when I retired the first year, when I was 35 years old, I retired. I was doing real well. Lived in Miami. As a matter of fact, had a house in Coral Gables. And my thing was, when I made it, I wanted to reach back and make sure I helped my other counterparts, other black brothers, because I know they were having the same issue that most people have, that you can't get the funding that you need. So we started a little little deal where we have a strategic partnership that's what we do. When you need funding, we call one of the members up. Hey, look, the gentleman over here need a couple $100,000. What's your interest going to be on that couple $100,000 to help him out to get his contract out and get this order out? And that's what we do. We don't see enough of that. Most time when you make it and you make millions, you figure, well, I made mine. I will let you figure out how to make yours. Now I help you if you help me make more, but that's the only way I'm going to help you. I'll be 55 this year, and my thing is, my wife tells me sometimes you can be too nice, but it's got to be about us. Absolutely. And not about me. I'm leaving a legacy to my family based on them helping other people and being there when people need it, and not to be selfish and think about just the family, because we're all a family. And until we consider that we all are family, and look at the fact that, hey, if my brother's struggling in his business, he's my family. So if any way that I can help him, not just say, well, man, I can give you this encouraging word, or I can tell you this. I would tell you that if a stranger comes to you,
need some money.
Hey, you're going to send them away and say, come back tomorrow? No, I'm going to help them right over there. So that's just the way I look at it. So, I pay the interest, sometimes 10% interest. Sometimes I paid as much as 30% interest in 30 days. I knew I could pay it because if I'm making 120% off the project I'm doing, I give you your 30%. I'm helping you in a sense, and you helping me mostly because I couldn't do the deal without your funding.
That's awesome. I love that. And I also love that. I don't know if you all heard that, and I want to open up the line for a few questions.
Brian, if I could make a quick comment just in conjunction with what Brother Ramsey said, because it's very, very important and we don't want to miss it. He said that a few of his contemporaries have come together to work with each other to fund each other when needed. That's, in our culture, that was called a susu, right?
Yeah.
And if you know African people from the continent right now, they do susus right now.
Right.
So, because my wife is from Senegal, her family does susus. So but it's about the trust, and it's about, as the brother said earlier, Brother Randy said earlier, it's about making our word bond. We got to be able to do that, and we never must stop communicating. So even when something goes wrong, we got to keep talking. Don't disappear.
Right.
So the brother question, because I feel like the brother who asked the question might not feel he got what he needed. So something like this, we could all come here together and create a commercial bank for ourselves and begin to fund ourselves. I had a commercial bank one time back in the real estate days, so I've done it. I know how to do it. We could do it. The other thing is, though, brother who asked the question, as a last resort, there are these things called merchant cash advances. I'm not recommending it, but if you need money, they'll loan you money. They're just going to look at your bank account and loan you, and it's going to be harsh and painful. But if you really need it, you can get it. I've had to do it. Didn't like it. Never want to ever do it again. But I just wanted to throw that out there. If you're depending on your need and the time that you need to gain the capital that you mentioned.
This is great. That's excellent point. And we're gonna continue this conversation after this is over, because I'm working on some ideas here as well. But one of the things I definitely want to mention, if you all heard, Ms. Ramsey actually has tax offices. That's a brilliant idea. I would highly suggest everyone to look into that. I've seen individuals make $100,000 in 4 months. $200,000 in 4 months from tax offices.
Anybody can do it. Anybody can start a tax business.
Absolutely. And that's a great way to make a lot of revenue quickly to fund yourself.
Brian, I wanted to tell Dondre too, because we kind of spoke about this event. Well, I can't share the screen, but I was trying to. The fishbowl experience. I think pitch competitions work. If Dondre, I've done a pitch competition called the Fishbowl Experience the past 3 years. I bring out veterans and veteran business owners. And the first year we gave out $30,000. I think the second year nobody won because nobody pitched anything that was of value. But the people that did pitch, even though they didn't win, they still went on to open up their businesses. They got liquor stores. One guy started Cinema Anywhere back in November with the big screens. You know, everybody renting out big screen drive-in movie theaters.
Yeah.
He did that back in November, so he was already ahead of the curve. This year we're doing it again, but for $50,000. And I think one thing that we didn't say is pitch competitions. And I think, Dondre, if you show up to a pitch competition and you got your products there and you let the panelists taste your chips, and then you let them know, like, man, it's already in some targets. Then we tuned in. We tuned in. We tuned in. We're trying to see what we need to do to expand it across the U.S. in all the targets. So definitely pitch competitions.
All right, so I want to open up the floor for a few more minutes. Anyone has a question? I know Cheryl had a question, and I know Farrah had a question. So you can actually ask your question directly to them. Anyone that has a question now that actually would like to ask. Feel free to unmute yourself.
I'd like to ask the question. Hi, everyone.
Give us your name and your company.
Hi, I'm Denise Turner Head with Heritage Fair LLC in Cleveland, Ohio.
Hello, Denise.
Nice to be here. If you don't know, we have a line of seasonings and sauces we sell in the grocery chains. And I actually had a question for you, Marcus.
Tell them how many stores you're in.
We're in over 1,000 Kroger stores. That's our main store. And just got great news this week. We have 10 products on our line, but they're carrying 3. And this week they requested them all.
All right. Excellent. Congratulations.
So we're celebrating over here. And they also added 3 additional divisions across the board. So that was good news this week.
Okay. So what's your question?
My question is for you, Marcus. You were talking about data. And I wanted to know if you can just list a few platforms you might use to gather that data. For example, when you send your emails, what platform do you use for that? When you send out your surveys, what platforms do you use for that?
So I use MailChimp like everybody else. They got the newest platform. The newest platform is Klaviyo. That's one everybody likes on Shopify. Most people, they got websites that's making money online. We got Shopify, and then there's Klaviyo. Klaviyo is like the newest e-blast, but I like emails to talk to the customers throughout the year, but I like text blasts to talk to the customers when there's a sales period. You know, I think phone numbers are more.
And so how do you get their phone numbers?
I'm glad you asked that. So that's why I went straight to Instagram, right? A lot of times we'll pay an influencer to post a picture or a hashtag or something. We need to be getting them to post a call to action. And what we do is like an influencer may charge you $1,000 or whatever amount of dollars to post on their page. We actually have them post a call to action in their story. And so instead of people just seeing it and going to our website, they're seeing it and texting in their information. And so we're able to grab that information and just talk to them for the rest of their life. Because once you shop with us, you shop forever. And I think with you, if you're in grocery stores and you do have those sit-ins, you know, where you can actually sit in the store and let the customers know about your items.
Yeah, we do the in-store demonstrations.
Yes. And so I think it's very important to grab that data. Grab that data. Don't just sit there and get the exposure to the brand and let them taste the product and all that. You need to get their name, number, birthday, anything that you feel like is important.
Yeah, we were doing that, but outside of the testing, I wanted to know, like you just said, okay, so you'll talk with an influencer and they'll post on their page and then they'll do a call to action. So that call to action will be text this.
Text the word happy. In my situation, is text the word happy for your chance. Remember, chance is the key word. For your chance to win free hair for a year. And so when they see that chance to win free hair for a year, everybody and their mama texting in. And I ain't giving nothing away. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a chance. I said, you got a chance. You know what I'm saying? And so that's important. One more thing, Brian. One more thing, Brian. Also on the email side, right? On the email side, because you brought up the e-blast. If you pay for an e-blast, don't just pay for an e-blast and put your graphic in there or your website in there or a picture of your product in there. Put that call to action in there. Because if you buying for somebody e-blast and they got 100,000 subscribers or something, that call to action is going to change your life. Everything else is going to be a good ROI, but that call to action is what's going to change your life. When you get all of their customer subscriber information to your subscriber information, then yours grows.
It's about the residual. It's about the residual.
Well, I'm gonna be calling you. I know you're busy and everything, but I need like 2 more minutes of your time.
I'm here.
All right, let's get another question. Next question.
If that's okay.
Anybody else has a question for Carlos or for Ramsey or Miss Ramsey or for Marcus? Feel free to unmute yourself.
Let's see. I was gonna ask.
Well, hold on. Anybody else?
Marcus, I was going to ask.
Give your name if you can and your company.
Sarah Walker, Perfect Output Laser Equipment. I was going to ask you, Marcus, have you ever, on dealing with overseas companies, have you ever experienced a scam where you've paid your money or something and then you didn't get what you asked for?
All the time. You got to pull up on them. I scam with people in the U.S. I had to pull up on. You know what I'm saying? The thing with the overseas companies is everybody and their mama will build these relationships via email. So you might go on Alibaba, you might go on AliExpress, you might find an email that is the connect. And so they try to build these relationships from a distance. And that ain't how it works. You got to pull up on them. You got to go over there and talk to them. You got to go with a translator and let them know you for real, because you're not going to get the best prices if you do it from here. You trying to negotiate with somebody in Africa from here, they ain't worried about giving you no deal. You know what I'm saying? So you got to go over there and really talk to them and let them know that you're serious. And so when you come back over here and now you're talking to them and now you're emailing them, now you're a priority because they know how serious you are. And you're not just some American that happened to get an email that happened to hit them up looking for a supply or something, if that makes sense. But when it happens, yes. It doesn't happen, yes. Initially, yes, it can happen, but don't send 6 figures, don't send 30,000, don't send 20,000. Start off small and build that relationship, and then you'll feel more comfortable. By the time I'm sending 50,000 or 100,000 to one supplier, I gotta put eyes on you. I gotta know who I'm talking to. I gotta know where you stay, where you work at or something. You know what I'm saying? I can't just be blindly sending you all this money, hoping that you send it back, because if they don't send it, which is it, you can't go sue them. It doesn't. Nothing happens. They can take your money and go, and it happens all the time. But not to me, because I go over there with camouflage on and let them know I'm for real. Like, I'll come back. I'm coming back. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
I've had many conversations with Marcus. Every time I have a conversation with me, he let me know he's gonna be somebody else.
Well, Brian, if you want to save this question for another time,
Hold on. Just hold it, because I do want to get a few more questions. I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Anybody else have a question? James, you're on mute, James. We can't hear you, actually, James. You're on mute. You got to unmute yourself, James. James, I'm gonna give you one more chance. You got to unmute yourself. We can't hear you.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, James, your audio is not working, James. Elena, do you have a question? Okay. Anybody else have a question? We're gonna wrap it up here. All right, Mark. One of our new members, Mark. How's it going?
Hey, I'm good. I enjoyed this. Thanks so much.
Really quick question, real quick. James, put your question down in the chat, and I'll ask it for you because we can't hear you. Okay, go ahead, Mark.
All right. So my company has a couple of divisions, and one of them is a kiosk business, mainly a self-service. And we have a new product that is a temperature check kiosk. And I was curious with Camus and Andrew in particular, if that's something that could be added on to your COVID business along with the PPP. It's obviously not protective equipment, but as venues start to open up, I believe there's opportunity to grow. It's a kiosk that basically facial recognition, thermal detection, lets people know if they have a temperature or not. It says temperature normal or temperature abnormal.
Let's get their answer. So you're asking that to Camus and to Mr. Ramsey?
Yep.
Okay. Camus, you can start first.
Yeah, I'd say I definitely want to hear more about it. Anything that deals with either keeping us safe or letting us know what circumstance we're in could potentially be useful and marketable. So I definitely want to hear more.
All right, so your information, the information down in the chat, so definitely make sure you email each other.
Yeah, put my email in there. If you could email me, I'll send you over an overview. And we
No. Make sure you email him, Mark. That's where it goes. You want to actually make sure you reach out to him.
I'll go to the info, but if you guys could put in a direct email to me, that'd be great. Or email me with your direct confirmation information.
All right, so let me stop you, Mark, because I'm going to I'm going to say this. You're the one that want to do business. So I'm suggesting you that you email him. His contact information is in the chat. So just grab his information.
Oh, I didn't know it was in the chat.
Yeah,
I got you.
It's in the chat. It's in the chat. All right, Mr. Ramsey. What do you think?
That's a pretty good market. Matter of fact, it's one of my construction companies that I deal with out of Arkansas. He called me this week that they were one of the companies I was going to get to bid on the project in Tampa also. And he was telling me about that form of technology. I think he told me, because I do a lot of with the government, and he was telling me to try to get him in to the government here in Shelby County, because they're doing it in Arkansas where they have face recognition. They have some other machine that they do also that can disinfect some type of a light that you can put in the courthouse, and it automatically disinfect the courthouse. So send me some information on that. We're all about networking, man. That's where it's at. If you got a product that I don't have, I'll pitch it. I have no problem with that at all. That's just what we do here.
Okay, perfect. And I want to go back to James. James' question really quickly. James said his question is: have any one of you done business in Africa, overseas or in Africa?
I mean,
I tried
I'm negotiating
to
right now, but I've never done it.
Marcus?
Yeah, I tried to, man. I actually, we tried to put She's Happy global, right? We're trying to go everywhere. We started about the UK first because we figured it was more African Americans in the UK versus America. If we was winning in America like we winning in the UK, it's closer because they're on the same landmass, right? So we was like, man, let's try the UK. And so prior to the UK and going to London, we was like, man, let's try She's Happy here in Nigeria. And so I went to Nigeria, and I recognized the difference in the different parts of the world. You know, I've been to Africa before, but it's just a different way of doing business there. It's open. You can definitely go there and knock it out, but you got to go there with security. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta, you know what I'm saying? It's different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just different, bro. Like whatever you plan on doing, it's like being in the hood. You know, you can go there and do it, but you gotta kind of connect sometime with the locals and make sure that it's, you know, you're good to go to and from the airport from time to time, you know, because it is different. So just be safe while you're expanding your brand, not just to Nigeria or Africa, but anywhere. You always want to be safe.
Yeah, and I want to say this, and I think Elena has a question next. We'll bring you up, Elena. America, obviously, we have about 45 million black people here in America. There is, obviously, we have black people down in the Caribbean islands. So we want to think about places where we are so we can start to do business with each other. And of course, over in Europe and in Africa. But outside of Africa, a lot of people never talk about this, and many of you probably know, Brazil actually has the most amount of black people outside of Africa than any other country. They actually have close to 100 million black people down there. And so that's a market, if you never thought about, that's definitely a market to look into also.
And they speak Portuguese.
Portuguese, yeah. Absolutely.
Hey, I didn't have a question. I was just listening. Yeah, we're also looking to do business in Africa as well. So it's a good conversation.
Okay, so you didn't have a question. Okay, perfect. All right, anybody else have a question? We're over, but I thought this was a great conversation. And so we're going to wrap up here very quickly.
I got a question for everybody, I guess. Is there anybody that is a business owner that is pushing a brand that's not on social media? And if not, why not? You know, I always like asking, because I see toilet paper, you know, you got all these different products and stuff. Like, are we marketing this all on social media? Or are we using other platforms because of our industry? I'm just trying to see if everybody use social media like I think.
And I know the answer to some of y'all websites, so some of y'all better tell the truth. Anybody? So let's put it this way. Anybody feel like they need more help in social media, in the area of social media? Okay. Farrah? Go ahead and ask your other question that you had up there.
Oh, okay. I was just going to ask Ramos and Andrew.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to change the subject, but let's hold that question. But let's follow up on that. So you feel like you need more assistance?
We're out there, but it's just, I mean, I have to be on vacation to really take the time to try to put something together to post.
But tell them what you all do, because their company, they do millions of revenue as well over at St. Louis, right?
Kansas City.
Kansas
City Chiefs.
Oh, yeah.
That's what my background should be, right?
I was pulling for y'all. All right. So, so you feel like you're on social media, but you're not out there as much as you need to be.
Right. Yeah, we really don't spend the money. In my opinion, our company has done a lot of business with large corporations really since its inception. I mean, Sprint's been one of our largest customers since 1998. So we don't. It's really been.
You haven't had to. You haven't had to because yeah.
Right. At this point, and now with T-Mobile and acquiring Sprint, we're hoping that we can potentially do some of the things that we do for Sprint for T-Mobile. But what we do is document management, anything to do with documents, printing, scanning, faxing, records retention, destruction, etc. So as a part of that, we acquired laser equipment, which we manufacture toner for laser printers. Mm. So we definitely are interested in working with paper companies like Freedom Paper, and looking to try to just really figure out what our message should be going forward to continue to grow. Because if you find another Sprint or something like that, right, you grow exponentially overnight. But
that's not easy.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
It takes.
Let me get Marcus there to answer that. So what are your thoughts about that, Marcus?
I just I always think that no matter what industry you're in, you should be utilizing the free marketing. You know what I'm saying? Rather, I'm saying free because social media is free, and then you pay for it later. And I just think that I've always thought that whatever the industry is, that's something that you should be doing. So anytime I come across people that may be in the industry that's not doing it, I always ask why. I'm just curious, because I always try to figure out a way to get on it, no matter what industry I'm in. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm selling laser equipment or toner, I'm still on there. I'm gonna figure out a way to take pictures of toner and put it on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? For sale or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So listen to this. And so imagine. I think that's such a great point, Farrah, because you guys. On this call, you're probably one of the top two in revenue on this particular call. But imagine how much more your company could be doing if you did leverage social media.
I would say, can you hear me? Yeah. I would say, sister, please give me a call. There's a company that is selling printer ink and etc. online. That it's happening right now. So
we sell online. It's just we're not marketing. We're not out there telling people to come to the website.
Crazy.
Gotcha.
That's crazy.
Farrah,
that's crazy, Farrah.
It might be a situation where it might be a situation where you create a deal that you don't have to watch over it. Mm-hmm. It's not a big part of your business, but it's certainly a part of your business you want to be developing.
Yeah.
So maybe
absolutely.
That's how we look at doing something like that.
And that's just free money out there that you all are probably missing. And what were you saying, Marcus?
That's crazy. I just think that, for her to say we get a lot of money doing this, but we don't market it. What? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And again, that's what leaves so many industries so wide open to me, because everybody spends so much time just getting money, that they don't really think about the totality of it. And so while everybody else is just thinking about the transaction, I'm thinking about the data. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Also, if I can interject here.
Yeah, give your name and your company's name.
Jeanette Bro's Funnel Cake Cafe here in Las Vegas. And in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We are the only funnel cake store here in all of Las Vegas and all of Nevada. And I want to say social media is what got us to where we are. We started with a 10 by 10 pop-up tent. Then we invested in a concession trailer so that we can accommodate, catering and things like that. And then just 2.5 years ago, we moved into our first brick and mortar. And I have to say, it's not only good, but branding is huge. So because, from the pop-up tent to now, when you say funnel cakes in Las Vegas, everybody thinks of us. And because we branded well, we even did an event where another vendor tried to bring in funnel cakes, big event. And I just went on social media and said, we just learned there's a new vendor or another funnel cake vendor. If you're looking for Bros Funnel Cake Cafe, we are located near the Carnival area. It made more people upset, some of our loyal followers, that they were more upset than we were that there was another funnel cake trying to come in. So we pretty much, and that came from branding over the years, just being out there and doing things like Marcus. Marcus, I'm so impressed with you. I want to see if you can come speak or, do a Zoom, because I think there's so many things that you mentioned that a lot of small businesses, especially those starting or just getting going, don't realize that. And all the points that you threw out there, a lot of people, I know when I first started out, I didn't know any of that.
I got to give it a wrap. So you all two definitely connect. I think that'd be great. I mean, listen, Marcus, he wants to speak more, so you might have to write him.
But I just want
to
say
write him a check. No, he's good. You don't have to write him a check. He's got too much money right now. So
Hey, Brian, to answer your question, Mark, where our social media presence is probably 0.5% with us. You're exactly right about that. And I've been trying to get my daughter and my son, which works for me, to elaborate more on that and get us more into the social media part. And it hadn't happened. So you're exactly right about that.
So that's such a great point. All right. So if your company needs social media marketing, or if you need some additional marketing, put it down in the chat right now. Say my company needs social media marketing. We need more help. We could be doing more business, because ultimately what I would like to do is get some of our marketing companies in contact with you all. Where we did the $40,000 deal a couple of weeks ago, that was between an IT company and a marketing company just here recently. So I definitely want to begin. I think we're losing a lot of money because we don't have the right types of marketing in place. All right. One last question. Anybody else have a question for anybody else? I definitely want to wrap up.
I do.
Mr. Gillum.
How you doing, sir?
All right, let's make it a question, not a statement, because we got to wrap.
Okay. Well, John Gillum, Office of Solutions, we provide Xerox solutions. We're in Houston, Texas. Marcus, we know about you and heard a lot. The question that I had was, you talked about the platform that you used and you were going through them so quickly. I wanted to get the information, also the database that you use. Once you compile it, what database are you using to maintain it, and then how are you pushing that back out?
Look, man,
and also, Marcus, if you can put your contact information down in the chat, they're asking for your contact information.
Okay, so look, God put it on my heart to go ahead and tell y'all one of my special softwares that I love. Right, I normally don't give this out.
Top secret.
I normally keep this to myself. You know what I'm saying? People like, what you use? I be making up all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I never give up my real juice, right? So I'm gonna go down the list, right? I got MailChimp, Klaviyo, MobileStorm, TextBoom. Of course, you heard of Constant Contact, PayPal, Shopify, Clover, QuickBooks. Now, everything I'm naming, right? Everything I'm naming, you can go in and grab the data from your PayPal customers that's been shopping with you for years. A lot of us just make money on PayPal, but we don't go grab that data to talk to the customer. The data on your PayPal is going to be different data from your Shopify. The data on your Shopify is not the same data on your PayPal. The data on your PayPal is not the same data on your Clover system. The data on your Clover system is not this. You know what I'm saying? It's just totally different. So you grab all that data and you store it in one place. Or you keep it on those different platforms. I like to store mine in one place. You create a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, and I upload my data to SlickText. SlickText, S-L-I-C-K text. SlickText. I wish I had an affiliate code or something. I think I might. It might be like Happy or something. I don't know. But if they ask you for a code, just type the word Happy in. You might be able to save some dollars or something.
You said text. That's T-E-X-T?
SlickText, S-L-I-C-K. Text, SlickText. I've done my research. I've went on
like Texas.
T-E-X-T. SlickText. I met the owners. I'm typing with I saw the website online. I started doing my research. Started comparing and contrasting this company to all the other companies, and this is by far the best one. It's gonna cost you, but it's more than necessary for the reasons that we talked about today, because it's the best tool to use to grab data. I think the funnel cake lady in Vegas, right? She was saying how they started off in expos and stuff. I used to go to expos and we ain't trying to sell nothing. My team was trying to sell. I was just collecting data, not just from the customers that came to my booth, but from whoever showed up at the event. I'm getting everybody's data. Awesome. And I made them customers because I was able to upload all the information on SlickText. What SlickText does, I don't just talk to my customers around sales periods or times when I want to. This is SlickText. It's for text messages. You can grab whatever newsletter you create on MailChimp or Klaviyo or Constant Contact, take that link, and then upload that to SlickText. So instead of it just being a mail or email or e-blast going out, now you got that same e-blast going out through text. And now you're talking to customers via email and customers via text. Now the kicker is everybody will open up a text message. Everybody don't open up an email. And so you don't want to flood people's text messages because they will unsubscribe on your butt. You know what I'm saying? Right. And when people unsubscribe, that's dollars leaving your store. So you don't want that. You only want to communicate with them and send them things that they want to see. My last point, people move more from dollars saved and not percentages. You know, a lot of times you be like, hey, save 5% here, save 10%. They don't care about none of that. Right, they need to see dollars. Right. They need to see $5, $10. And I got so many gems and details that I can go into with this. But SlickText is my favorite tool to use. My last point, Brian, I know I can talk forever about data, right? My last point, what I do that's been a life-saving for me during the coronavirus. Again, instead of me paying influencers to just post graphics, I paid them to post those text-ins. Because if you got 1 million followers, I want those 1 million people. I want their email. I want their phone number. I don't care about a like. I don't care about a follower. I need all that other information, right? Because they spending money online. Now, on top of that, in your bio, when you create this account, in your bio, you can put whatever information in your bio, right? What I have in my bio, if you go on She's Happy Here on Instagram, in the bio, it has that text in to win. So no matter who goes to my Instagram page, in the bio, they go see, text the word happy for your chance to win free hair for a year. And when I tell y'all that for the past 3 to 4 years that I've been on SlickText, I've received a total of 50 or more customers, at least I'm gonna say 25. I ain't gonna exaggerate on 50. 25 random strangers that I've never met texting in with all their information. And I take those 25 customers every day and I add them to my data list. Now, throughout the years, you got some people unsubscribing, but you got 25 people coming on board every day. And so, again, I think people don't value data as much as they should. But now with COVID being running rapid through the world, you better, because you need to talk to your customer. You got an email, and the transactions are happening online now.
That's awesome. Did y'all get that? He said God put it on his heart. See, God is all up in this. We got the minister earlier, Minister Calmos. Then we got Minister Ramsey, and then we got Minister Marcus Bowers. Listen, God is all up in this. I love it. Listen, this is good stuff. I know we're over, but this is real stuff. And I really hope you all are being helped. Anybody else have a final question before we wrap? Anybody else have a final question? I'm sorry, I just had a quick question. I wasn't clear. Hold on one second, Denise. I'm sorry, go ahead. Anybody else that has not asked the question, if you have a final question? Anybody else? And I'm gonna go back to James. James said he's done business in Ghana. So if you all are looking to do business in Africa, James has done business there. So that's a great one. James Smith. James, is your information down in the contact in the chat? Well, we can't hear you, remember. So just make sure you place your information down in the chat, James. Somebody have a question?
I had a question, but it's a little more long-winded. I don't know if you would prefer for me to email it to you.
We got time, Brian. We got time.
Okay. Well, regarding
the name of your business.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Zakia from the Cookie Dip Company. We do
let me do this because I don't want to hold up my speakers, and obviously we were going to cut off earlier. So if you do have to go, feel free to run. We'll hang on a little bit longer for those that have questions. Marcus, he wants to hang around. So listen, when people who say they're millionaires, want to talk, I say let them talk.
I agree. I agree.
I agree.
All right, so go right ahead. So if you got to go, feel free to go.
Okay, so my name is Zakia. I'm from the Cookie Dip Company, and I have a gourmet snacks business starring Cookie Dip, which is the sweet alternative to chips and dip. I'm based out of Los Angeles. Currently, I'm like a one-man band right now. I still have my 9-to-5 job, and which is whatever's left over that is what finances my business, but it's very little. How do you recommend moving forward? Like, I'm working on my personal credit, I'm working on building business credit, but I'm still falling short. How do you recommend finding capital?
Is this a question for me or everybody? What are we doing?
For everyone, anyone who wants to answer.
Finding capital. That's the same question. You know, I think build your product into something that people believe in, and the money will come.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's. I mean, when you don't have no money, you got to get believers. And I think that's the start. But I think somebody else might have a better answer for you. I don't have.
All right, so give me that question in a nutshell. You're looking for how do you get capital? Is that what you're saying?
Basically, yes. I'm like I said, I'm working on my personal credit to use as guarantee, but I'm also working on business credit lines. But right now during COVID, my bread and butter was doing events and farmers markets. But right now it's like kind of shut down for my division of food. I've done maybe 3 events since COVID. And honestly, during these events, no one is wearing masks once they get past the door. Like, no one is doing this.
Let me ask you this. Because sometimes we think we need money. We don't really need money. Why do you think you need money?
To make the product, to get my packaging, for everything, basically, to pay booth fees. I don't have a lot of residual income.
And how much money would you say you think you need?
Well, if I were to continue along these lines of doing these events, not much, like maybe 10 grand, and that will set me up at least until April next year. But my goal is to get my product into grocery stores and to incorporate a co-packer and things like that to kind of automate the business so it's not so much wear and tear on myself. Okay. You know, I'm a single mother and I'm working full time, so it's hard.
I'm gonna open it up to everyone, anyone that wants to answer that. But this is what I've learned in business, in my humble opinion. One of the best things I learned is you got to keep your expenses low. You know, sometimes we have to fund our own dreams before we expect somebody else to fund it for us. And so one of the best things to do is anything you can cut out that you don't need. That's one of the best things to do is fund it yourself and find creative ways. I've learned business is not a straight line, it's a maze. So you have to figure out how to do it. You have to figure it out. And like everybody has done here on the line, how do I get those $10,000? It might seem like the biggest thing in the world right now, but the money is in the world. The money's there. Marcus got extra money. We got this guy here with 1,500% increase. So money's there. So the key is how do you get it? Which is key. Anybody else that wants to answer that? Denise, I would love, Denise, how did you all get started with your business? And, you know, how did you all get funded?
Well, when my dad, he found a company and he basically worked full time for a while.
Right.
And then I remember when he opened up an office and then he got to a point where he was like, I just can't do both. And he retired, took the risk and came on over. But what I was going to suggest to you is in conjunction to what Brian just said is that you just gonna have to hustle. And I think Marcus mentioned it as well. You got to do what you got to do. If you got to go to, you know, then are you using social media?
Absolutely. Actually, most of my customer base and my followers, they are like my diehard customers and they show up at every event. Yeah.
Well, I would use that as a strategy for any kind of word of mouth campaigns. The bottom line is sell, 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 anywhere, everywhere,
right?
to make that money, and then reinvest. You know, every inch you go up, reinvest it. You just got to take your time and continue to build at your pace because you got to stay balanced. You have a child, you're single, you work, and just work at your own pace and set your goals for growth. You know, might not be able to grow at the rate I'm growing because my lifestyle is different.
Right.
I have a different level of support system.
Yeah.
So you have to determine, okay, what type of income do I desire and what will it take as it relates to my resources, my lifestyle, and then make a determination on what's the most feasible for you to grow. You might not want to grow.
Yeah, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
I want the two of you to connect afterwards if you can. If that's okay with you, Denise.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that'd be great.
you.
The two of you to connect after that. Anybody else have any final questions?
But I did have a question because
Okay, go ahead.
I wasn't
Go ahead, Denise. You've been holding that.
with
Been holding that question. Yes. Go ahead.
Camus and Andrew. So you guys you actually manufacture your toilet paper? Camus, you're a manufacturer of toilet paper.
Yes, ma'am.
Bathroom. Wait. Let me get it right.
Bathroom tissue. Yes.
Bathroom tissue.
Get it together. It is on the screen.
Okay, and so you, I guess I'm confused on this. Is wholesale distribution or are you retail? Is this to consumer?
I do everything.
Okay.
So we have wholesale programs. We have programs.
Okay.
We have affiliate programs. We do quasi franchising. We sell.
Okay.
So we do all.
Hey, that boy got
perfect.
some $22 toilet
Andrew?
paper though. There's some expensive number twos over here.
Yeah, look at that here.
Well, I'm glad you said. Now that you said that, we used to do this scenario because basically it's broken down into numbers, right? Real quick. So if you're buying something and it's 300 sheets and it costs you 60 cents per roll, and our paper, of course, the prices have changed since COVID. I'm giving you sort of old pre-COVID data, but it used to be 77 cents per roll, but 500 sheets. So if you
I want to tell y'all the real deal. Here's the real deal right here.
If you did the math, you'd find out that we were actually less expensive, and we don't have the poisonous chemicals.
Okay.
So there's a number of factors that you want to consider, but we're actually less expensive than the market, actually.
Okay. That's what's up, man. Congratulations on that, bro. Way to think outside the box. When I think about jumping into industries, I try to walk outside, and if I can see my customer when I walk outside my door, then I know I need to jump into that industry. Toilet paper is that. Toilet paper is definitely that. Everybody needs toilet paper, no matter what size you are, color, and all that, bro. So congratulations on that.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Anyone else? Zanita, did you have a question? Okay. All right, good. Anybody else have a question? All right, this is great stuff. This is excellent. I definitely know we're over. But real quickly, I do know that actually Cheryl had a question earlier, but I think it was centered around what software that you used. Also, Cheryl, are you there? Are you able to unmute yourself? RX Catering.
Thank you. Yes, my question's been answered. And thank you for all three of these awesome speakers today. Appreciate your time and all the knowledge that you shared. I'm sorry, my face is on mute. I'm working actually.
No, tell everybody about your business just really quickly, like 10 seconds.
I'm in Washington, D.C. area. I'm a caterer, full service, and been in business for about 13 years now. And we do all types of catering, from in-home to anything at the Capitol or at your church homes or wherever.
Yeah. So you need toilet paper. I'm sorry, bathroom tissue too. And so he's right in there.
Absolutely. That's why I actually asked the question, where was he located? So definitely reach out to him.
No.
Yeah, and we do the food service products as well. So we can talk about that too.
All right. Listen, this was great stuff. And me and Carlos, we're going to be talking soon. Marcus, I want us to talk soon as well. I want us to really, because I love what Andrew mentioned, how he has a group of individuals that actually get together and they fund other Black-owned businesses. I think, we keep looking, I just like to we keep looking for white folks to come save us. White people are not coming to save us. We have to save ourselves. And so it's important for us those of us that have made it, to use our funds so that we can grow other smaller businesses. And then also, and I like what Farrah said, and I didn't realize you all actually had acquired that. So Farrah, you all actually acquired a company. Is that what you said earlier? I didn't realize you had made that acquisition. So we got to talk, because one of my next calls that I want to deal with is on acquisitions. How do we make more acquisitions within the space? And I know, Marcus, you all acquired a company as well, right?
We did. Somebody thought they was going to hop in our industry and do what we was doing. They thought it was real easy, and we bought them up. Yeah.
Listen, so I think that's key. So the word for that keeps going back to me for everything that we're dealing with is, how do we take control? How do you take control of the funnel cake industry? How do you take control of the spice industry? How do we take control of everything that we're doing ourselves? But to do that, we must think larger. Some of us, sometimes we're thinking too small. We're just thinking about ourselves, our family. No, we must think. One thing about other individuals and counterparts, they think generationally. They think the next generation and the generation and the generation after that. I think that's what we have to start thinking about. And how do we grow companies large enough to where we're the Rockefellers, and you're the Rockefellers of the hair industry, and you're the Rockefellers of the funnel cake industry, the Rockefellers of the perfect output, all of that.
Brian, can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
One, every time I get a chance to speak, it's greatly appreciated. I appreciate you guys for listening. I enjoy doing this. I'm a teacher at heart. So if you have any platforms on any city or state, if you got to log in, send it to me, and I would do this all day long. Danetta, with the funnel cakes, get you a drive-through. Funnel cakes, they always sell them. They sell at the festivals. Get you a drive-through. That's the game changer. Don't wait.
Yeah.
The next location should be a drive-through, and
agree.
that help you through COVID and help you through Corona and help you through the future.
I couldn't find one, but that's exactly the model I wanted, was a drive-through. Yeah.
Well, I got another idea. Another idea now is these drive-in movie theaters. That's a big deal. Listen, people are tired of being in the house.
Yeah.
So people would love to get out the house and go to a drive-in movie theater where you can sell your funnel cakes. You can sell whatever it is you sell. I think these are ideas, but the key, what I'm always looking at is, we need to look around, and like what Marcus said, we need to look around in our communities and find out what our communities are missing, and we must fill the gaps. Gentrification, people always talk about gentrification, how people are coming over to our side of town and buying stuff up. I said that only happens because our property's been the same way for the last 50 years, and nobody's did anything about it.
Yeah.
So they say, this is some cheap land. It ain't got nothing to do all the time with racism. They're like, this land is cheap. I'm coming to buy it, and I'm running them out because they don't know what to do with this land. And that's just the key. So it's up to us. We must take control of our communities. And this is what last thing I'll say on this. One of our newest members, I'm pretty sure you all have heard about the 19 families that got together down in Georgia and purchased land. So one of our newest members, they purchased a lot of acres down there. One of our newest members is actually going to be one of the GCs on that project. She has a construction project. I'll actually be speaking with her in a group of our construction companies next Wednesday, and I may bring her on our Zoom call next week. But she actually builds containers, and she builds houses out of containers, and they can build a house instead of 6 months. They can build a house in 1 or 2 months. But it's about us taking control of our communities, us thinking larger. These things like this, what we see on TV, is going to keep happening until we control. And I love what you said, Carlos. Until we get some strength and we control it ourselves, it's going to keep happening. But it's up to us to make a difference. Listen, this is great stuff. Thank you all for your time. Thank you for sticking around.
Thank you.
I know we're way over, but this was amazing.
Brian, keep connecting the dots, man. Keep connecting the dots. We need this.
Yes, sir. We're going to keep doing this, and I got some great ideas that we're going to be doing here in the future. So stick with us and stick with me. And this was recorded, so I'll be sending out the recording. So if you need to go back, you'll be able to get the chat. You'll also, I would definitely suggest that you copy the chat right now while you can. But I'll be sending it out to everyone as well. Carlos, any final thoughts?
Oh, yes, sir. I think this was excellent, brother. I want to thank you for your work.
Thank you,
the work of organizing us is greatly needed. The space that you're in to do that, praises to you for that. Continue with that, and let us not just be here and talk, but now let us take an action from today that begins to show us more and more how much we can achieve by working together.
Yeah,
the unity is the power.
And that's key. So one of the things I'm going to do right away, because I think each of you need more exposure. Even She's Happy Hair, because I need you all to be $1 billion company. I need all of us. We must control industries. This is how this. And I'm getting ready to watch a movie. And there's a book, and many of you probably already saw it. How the Jews created Hollywood. I don't, and I'm pretty sure you've seen that before. But it's you start somewhere, and you start with a little bit, and then you keep growing. And then right now, they run everything out there because they took control of it. So we must realize, how do we take control of the hair industry? How do we take control of the tissue industry? How do we take control of all of this? It's up to us. We must do it, but we must work together. And so this is why I got some great ideas that we'll be talking about here sometime soon. This is excellent. I hate to leave, but we got to go.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you for your time. This is Marcus. Thank you, sir. Thank you all. Thank you, John. Thank you, Dee, Sparrow.
Thank
Maurice.
you.
Maurice, don't talk so much next time, Maurice, you as Anita. But this is great. Listen, y'all have a great one. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
What up? Who been late? Wow. What word? Turn it on.
Hey, what's going on, Marcus?
Spencer, I'm working on this vehicle registration. Can I get the license plate number on the Chevy? Can you know it by heart?
LGD. Let me go. Look, I'm gonna text it to you. Is that cool?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
I know.
All right.
My name is Warren Broadnax. I am the co-founder and CEO of She's Happy Hair. Marcus Bowers, my co-founder, gave me a call and let me know that he had a great idea and that we should sell some hair, which I thought was extremely comedic because me knowing him knew anything about selling hair. He let me know that he had an idea for her that's got $4,000 a weekend selling hair. So I was astonished by it and working on the side job for $200 for a 24-hour shift. I couldn't pass up an opportunity to make $4,000 a week. I would actually walk into Houston and I would ask women and I would ask these questions until I seen I was wearing out my welcome. I would take that knowledge and go to the next. I would do this for days upon days. And about 3 weeks, me and Marcus were able to come together. Feel like we had enough base knowledge. We ended up investing $400 of our own money together, and we had $800 material. And we jumped on Craigslist, promoted our business, and we would meet women all across the city of Houston and sell hair out the trunks of our cars. Those same beauty salons that I would walk in to gain knowledge, I'd walk in there with a duffel bag full of hair. And then we say, "How y'all doing? My name is Warren. I am here to sell you this hair." And I got laughed out of a lot of places. But I understood that was part of the journey, and I didn't let it discourage. And I took every loss as a learning lesson. You know, every time a woman would tell me, "I don't want that," I would ask, "Well, why don't you want it? What is it that you do want?" "Oh, I don't like that hair." "Well, why don't you like it? What do you like? What price? Oh, it's too expensive." "Well, how much should it be?" So that literally was one of the main cornerstones of the company. It's just major customer service, always understanding the customer's right. We were selling a product that we knew nothing about. We were able to start in a 400 square foot, probably about the same size as my office right now with our first location. The night before, I was painting the office probably till about 4 in the morning, me and one of my friends. And as I was getting ready to leave about 4, we was opening up at 9. I was like, okay, let me just clean up a little bit, get prepared for the morning. We got a grand opening. And as I left probably about 5 a.m., when I came back at 8, they broke in and they stole all of our inventory. This is day 1, December 15, 2020. This is the first day we opened. They broke in that night and stole all of our inventory. Luckily, I had some shipments that came to my home that night, so I was able to bring that. But that just teaches you, like, you never know when adversity is going to come in business, and you got to keep pushing. What if you start this off $900, they $200, and we attain the success of a multi-million-dollar business, living off of what if, and always being optimistic. My whole thing was like, what if this works? I can always go back and get a job. I can always go and work for somebody. But what if it works? And it did. Now we at She's Happy Hair currently today in 2019. We have 6 stores across the United States. We recently just signed a deal with Walmart. Since day 1 with She's Happy Hair, we have been dedicated with giving back to the community because we understand, number one, we come from very humble beginnings. Now we're in a situation where we can help. We are obligated to help. Well, last year we gave away over 1,200 backpacks with supplies and schools across the United States. What we do on the Sunday before back to school is we transform all our stores into barbershops. And if you have a son who needs a haircut, you can come to our stores and get a free haircut. And the weekend before Christmas, we transform our stores into like a Santa playhouse where you can bring your kids in, you can take a free photo with chocolate Santa. You can receive toys that we give away as well as bikes that we ride. We've also launched the She's Happy Foundation to make a bigger impact, and we're currently working on an entrepreneurship program to be able to teach entrepreneurship to youth in our communities because we understand that we have to be able to make our own jobs and create our own opportunities. My name is Warren Broadnax. I am the co-founder and CEO of She's Happy Hair.
It don't need to be out here telling nobody we fuck, cause I'm denying shit to the fullest. I'm putting it on my mama, my partners. I fuck around and put it on God. Boy, don't tell nobody. Oh, I don't play like that. Don't tell nobody nothing. It don't need to be out here telling nobody we fuck, cause I'm denying shit to the fullest. I'm putting it on my mama, my papa.
I feel that they define themselves now as this high value. They don't like it.
My name is Warren Broadnax. I am the co-founder and CEO of She's Happy Hair.
What's up, B?
What's that?
I just talked to Gustavo, so he was swung by the store.
What's the name? Mario called me, said he can't fix that. That's not his. That's not the AC. It's the roof. So I've been communicating with the people. I forwarded the email to Anita. They not responding. Like they ain't sent nobody out yet. Even though the guy came out, the actual building. I guess the guy that goes out and looks at the stuff when you put in complaints for the building. But if you could, Mark, call up there and talk to them, the people we paid the rent to, and get on their ass about coming to look at it. Because I sent them an email and I forwarded it to Anita just to see what they saying, but they bullshitting us around.
Okay, I'll get on it right now. Appreciate you, bro.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
All right. The roof. Those pictures of the ceiling. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Anita, we got those offer letters out? To who? The onboarding? Okay. What up, B?
Yeah, I'm them for 59.
These right here? Okay.
Wait. That's the one you got from the front?
I just got them out the box. I just grabbed one just to see what it looked like.
Well, yeah, them the ones we've been had, but Adrian ordering some. Yeah, ordered me some samples from another company that's way cheaper.
That was way cheaper. Okay, that's what it was asking. If this was the new sample from the company or the new box bags from the company that y'all was talking about.
Nah,
but this the old.
This the old.
Okay,
So,
they go look the same, feel the same, kind of.
We got to get the samples. Supposed to. You know, they just showed us the suit bag on the thing. They said we can do logo Adrian. Like, all right, let me get the samples.
So now I'm feeling these, of course, as usual. But I'm thinking we can use these on Black Friday instead of using the white bags or any bags just on that day for Black Friday, even the weekend.
Only thing about that is, I always want to make sure we don't run out for orders online, but just the size of it, you can't fit a lot in it. So like, if they get products and bundles,
Gotcha. Okay, something to think about.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we would have to, and I think that's the biggest one that the company I go with. That's the biggest one that they might make. But I think now they got a bigger one. The bigger one is those are $2. The bigger one is like $2.50, $3.
And how much it is?
$2. That's what I'm trying to get the other company that Asian got, because I think they like $1 some change or maybe even 98 cents. So
it's just something to add to the seasons. You know what I'm saying? We can or not. But okay, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Gustavo, we got Anita on the property.
You see I forwarded to you? Yeah, I forwarded to her too. But yeah, so they bullshit.
We'll see. Appreciate you,
the
brother.
dude Allen, he had came out and was like, okay, I'm gonna send a contractor out, whatever, my boys gonna come look at it. Maya and Nick said nobody never showed up. And I hit them like, hey, what's the deal? We ready to get to do our floor when we can. And you see what they saying.
Do they want us to fix their property? Is that pretty much?
Hell no. They gonna fix the roof. I've been communicating to them. I communicated to him in person. When he came in, we were showing him all the leaks. The one in the hallway, that's why I asked you to call up Gustavo, because he talking about that's from the AC. I know it is. I'm like, all right, cool. We're gonna get him to come look at it. And as we can see, it ain't.
Yeah.
So they bullshitting us again. But he see the floor. I showed him everything on the floor. I'm like, man, we trying to get this fixed, like whatever. We can't fix the floor and then the roof's still leaking because this shit gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
So he act like he understood, but you see he hushed my phone down email. He don't want to say nothing. So
you got time to check out this interview guide? I'm printing it out, just hand it to you.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, the loss prevention interview guide. I'm gonna get it to you. Yeah.
What was wrong with the other one?
The other one
you
only. No. So what it was we created a new interview guide for the managers to bring on candidates.
Uh-huh.
And so we just kind of mirrored that interview guide with the loss prevention guide.
Right.
And we haven't rolled it out yet. So before we really roll it out, I want you, at least you and Anita to check it out.
Oh, I did. The one you got me.
Yeah. I don't remember no feedback on it.
I told you it was good. I just said it was just had a lot of like retail stuff in it, maybe. I mean, because I forwarded it to Keegan. That's what her and Adrian used last week when they had did the interview.
Okay.
That's what they used last week, so I think she probably the one that used it, but yeah, I read over it.
Okay, so the one you forwarded to Kiva did have loss prevention on it?
Right. Yeah,
okay.
That's the one you sent me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But, well, I mean, we should be good to go then. If we already checked it out, then you didn't have no input.
Right.
And we'll just move forward with it.
Okay.
All right, bet. Anita, real quick. So somebody
That's what it was. That's what I was looking for. I gave you more. She got, I gave you 6.
Don't forget the hats. Yes. No. No, I'm good. Nope. No. No. Mm-mm. I'm gonna give it a NO. Let me see. This is temporary. I think we can sell these. No, we can sell it. You would buy that. We could charge. As a customer, like this, I mean, you'd be surprised. We can put this in the store, store. We put that in the store. You see, people say at least $200. So we got one bundle plus a hat. A hat is about $10. That's $150 mark. Which I got in my ear about $50. But we don't need a person to do.
Hi, it's Anita. I called you earlier. How are you? I'm doing fine. I called you. I wanted to say a few more questions for you. We don't have to go back to so I can give you a call back. Or we do it tomorrow. I said, or we do it tomorrow. I'll just give you a call too. Okay. Okay.
I figured,
It's not in the
what? Mass, 13 for store? We can run right here and go get some. Oh, you some. Oh, where do you mass?
We ain't got none. We ain't got none.
I feel like it was some left over. I just don't know where they at. If they're not in the cabinet in there.
If I would have known what song was that, I would have grabbed me when you go talking like the regular. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. The last mask I had, I got some from.
I know that we passed.
Yeah.
That's where it's all. I need the answer. Oh,
That's my desk. Mask.
hey, Amaya, quick question. Did you guys get masks with the little the normal mask inside?
I can just go downstairs and drop it off.
I just was making sure somebody got it. Okay. 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 Do you remember when it was? Was it a couple months ago? Do you remember what it was? A couple months ago? Okay. 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 I just remember. Right. I'm sending you the offer letter for Samoria. You have that. It's a file for her. Okay.
Yeah, I was just talking.
Oh, and Brandon is here. Congratulations. Brandon, Amaya said thank you.
Okay. I'm trying to get a sample.
All right. Talk to you later.
Another supplier.
Did you get where we
Yeah, I guess if you put it out, that's the only thing that's gonna change the process. Yeah.
say do it like this? No, this book said do it like this. You gotta read that. I got a nice 3 o'clock. I'm gonna eat before 3. I'm talking about right now? No, I'm fine. Huh? Yeah. Yep. Which one? I'm saving mine for Saturday next week. I know we need no more shirts. We need some shirts that say, "I'm sorry, Breonna Taylor, that your life wasn't worth the wall," or something like that. You know what we posted on the IGs and stuff. Send it to Warren. Send him make a shirt. Oh, they shot 2 police officers in Louisville last night. Damn. 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 Crazy. They say history repeats itself. I've been trying not to pay attention to what's happening because I stop. I don't know. I just lose track, but I'm not gonna let it stop. Crazy. It's crazy. The fact that Breonna Taylor and Emmett Till's dates are the same. I just sent it to you. Crazy. Horrible. Both acquitted. Horrible.
I'm sorry, but the person you call. Please leave your message.